Welcome, friends. Welcome to today's Reconsider It live stream. Best live stream you're gonna see all day. And here on this live stream, you are gonna get a very nice hour or more of some 505 loop making goodness. Yeah, my regulars know what it is. You are currently listening to the foundation, the skeleton, the base of a beat that I slapped this together before the stream started. And over the course of the next hour or more, question mark, I'll be building this beat up some more alongside you and talking about how I made the beat. How do these loopers make it sound nice? Because it's just my vocals going into this mic, right? I give you insight, and it's nice. And it's the kind of thing you tune in for on a 505 beat making stream. And right now we are in a warm-up phase. We are just hanging out, getting the blood flowing. And here in this warm-up phase, we're getting ourselves situated. While we're doing that, I need to celebrate you. Thank you for being here. Whether you are here live with us and in the chat, whether you are here live with us but you are not in the chat, whether you are joining us after the stream, watching on replay, however it is that you are joining us, thank you for being here. I'm going to celebrate you at this time in this way. I have got my drink right here. It's very nice. I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to clink the screen. At that time, you are invited to join the rest of us as we cheers along. 1. Oh man, it's going to be so good. It's going to be really the best thing ever. 2. Oh boy. There's like this build-up happening at this time. Oh my goodness. 3. Clink. Cheers, my friend. Ooh, that was good. Please like this video. So this is a 505 beat making stream. And here on this stream, I start by describing the beat that I've already made. Because there's a few things going on right now. Generally speaking, when I start with a beat, I start making a beat, which again is just me on the microphone. There's no other inputs, but the loopers have sound effects that make it sound you know, like I have a, what, drum machine or synthesizers. I do have a synthesizer, voila. But it's not on, and it's also not even plugged into the loopers anyway. So I have all these different loops, these different layers, and I usually start with the kick, this. Now it sounds like I have a, you know, some kind of drum machine or something. But no, this is just me going like this is not some acapella coolness. So how did I do it? Well, the loopers let you stack layers, or stack input effects. This one has 2 effects applied to it. It has an EQ effect. These are the 505 details. If you are somebody who's thinking about getting a 505, you're curious how they work, that's the kind of details I'm giving you right now. If you're somebody who already has a 505, and you just want to see how some artist uses it, that's also what I'm doing right now. If you just like gear, or you just want to hang out, that's also what I'm doing right now. So how did I make this kick? This kick drum? Well, as I said, it's built from an EQ. That's what I started saying. The EQ is just the name of the effect in the looper. And the EQ lets you tune up, you know, the high end and low end, that sort of thing. So I start with the EQ. I boost the low end a little bit, drop the high end a little bit. That's for the kick drum. But then I also pass it through vocal distortion. Vocal distortion is what gives it that, like, you know, grainy, distorted sound. And that's it. My drums are usually pretty simple in terms of the input effects. Not a lot. This lower looper here is the one I use for percussion. You can stack up to 3 input effects. But in the case of my kick here, I only did 2. Same thing with this hi-hat shaker thing, whatever you call this layer. This is the exact same effect as the kick. And it's just me being like, not terribly impressive a cappella. But it's cool when it goes through the looper. So again, if you're in the category of people who is thinking about getting one of these things, these 505 loopers, and you're wondering like, oh, well, I can't really, you know, beatbox. It's like, well, I'm not very good at it either. It's the looper that puts effects on it that makes it a lot more flexible, enhancing, and you should feel confident with getting one of these. As long as it's easy for you to pick one up and you don't have to worry about, you know, the cost. So there's also this, whatever you call this, clap snare type of sound. This too, that's the same effects as the hi-hat, shaker, and the kick. And that's all I got on the lower looper in terms of percussion. I didn't use these 2 channels. I often don't. But the top looper, oh, and I guess if it's not obvious, I think this is the first time I'm saying this on a stream. If it's not obvious, each of these layers has this like dial here. That's its volume. So you often see me just doing that. So that part's really easy to use. So on the top looper though, this is the newer model, the Mark II it's called. The bottom one is called the Mark I. This one is called the Mark II on top. This one has tons and tons and tons of new features. I use this one on top for anything that's melodic in nature. Has to match some kind of melody or harmony or anything. Bass line. That's something the top looper can do that the bottom one does not. If you're wondering what I'm doing with this, oh, you can't really see it on the camera. I'm putting the headphone thing through the loop of my pants. That way it doesn't get in my way. Otherwise, the headphone cable is right in my way, and I'm always wanting it not there. So I solved my problem by taking action in my local environment. So on the top looper, I got the bass line and this other thing, whatever you call that. How do I make the bass? My regulars know the way that I make the bass. On the top looper, you can stack up to 4 input effects. For, I think, all ... reserving the right to be mistaken, because there's an exception or two. I think all of my bass instruments that I create start with this thing called guitar to bass, which is exactly what it sounds like. If you plugged in a guitar instead of using a microphone and vocals, then you'd use this input effect and it would make the guitar sound like a bass. So I start with that, and it'll drop my voice a few octaves. And I'm like, this bass line, this is not me having some awesome a cappella bass singing voice. This is me just being like, do. I'm exaggerating slightly, but that's it. I'm not some awesome a cappella vocals guy. So this bass line, start with guitar to bass in this case. Then I pass it through the electric effect, which is the thing that allows you to auto-tune it. Or what did I call it the other day? Snap tuning? Is that what I said? Snap tuning? I think someone suggested that on a recent stream and I liked it. That might not be, I don't know what it was. But I like the idea of snap tuning. So guitar to bass, passed into the electric snap tuner, in my words. Or in someone else's words. Not per the looper. You're not going to find snap tuner on the electric. That's what I'm trying to say. Guitar to bass, electric, passed into a sustainer, which is like a loudness control. And then all of that passed into a reverse reverb. Is that reverb on it? We'll listen at a point where it stops. I think the answer is yes. A little bit. It's really pretty quiet. You can hear it there when it reaches the end of the loop and starts over. So that's it. That's how the bass is made. Oh, by the way, for my musician friends who like to jam along, this one is tuned to the key of E flat. Wow, I'm so sorry. Let me read. It's not E flat. Why did I say E flat? It's the key of E. That's it. The key of E. I apologize for misspeaking. The key of E major. Beats per minute is 140.0. So in addition to the bass, I got these other two things going on. This one. These are the same instrument, but just taking up two channels so that they sort of harmonize in some cases. In other cases, they complement each other in some other way. So how do I make this layer? Or this instrument, rather. And my regulars know my secret regarding my top looper here and the physical positioning of the different loops. The center one represents center panning, and I generally record the bass on that. To the left and right of the bass are things that are panned a little bit left and right versus a lot left and right on the far sides. And I usually use these two layers here as this harmonizing or complementing two double use of the same instrument. That's my usual pattern in most of my songs, most of my beats, I guess. So indeed, how was this one made? As always, you can add 4 input effects at a time when building an instrument on the 505 Mark II. And this one, the 4 input effects are as follows. This one starts with electric, which is the snap tuner. Then it gets passed into the synth. That's usually one of the ones that I use as a core voice when building an instrument. The synth, in my usage of it, I use it like you would use a horn if you had instruments or a synthesizer. You would use some kind of brass trumpet or something similar. That's what I use the synth as. So that's what's giving this the majority of its character. Then that gets passed into a phaser, the name of it, which gives it a little bit of a like subtle in and out waviness. And then all of that gets passed into a tremolo, which is what gives it the like almost cutting in and out element. So this is good. At this point, you are caught up on how I made each of these layers in the beat that you're hearing. The lower looper is for the percussion stuff, not needing to be tuned to a key. Got the kick, the snare, the hi-hat shaker. I also have some output effects. You hear in the drums. In this case, I'm using a so-called tape echo. And And you hear exactly what that's doing. That effect is a favorite. I have to try to not overdo it with that one. That like vinyl. This. That's so fun. Man, that's so fun. So that output effect is called the vinyl flick. Low. So that's a good state to be in at this time, where you are fully caught up on how I made all these layers. I introduced the output effects, a few of those. The output effects on the top are a little different. Like I could do the vinyl flick, but it's also got a different... This one's not the tape echo like the drums. This one is... This is called a gate reverb. Now you're fully caught up. And that means we are at the point of building. So let's add some more. Let's see here. I think I'm going to do this. The top looper, you can save multiple configurations, just like settings and things. You could tune them the way you want. The top looper, the Mark II, is very, very customizable. I don't do like a tenth. I'm speaking in hyperbole. I don't know what the actual literal percentage is, but it's a small amount. I do like so little of what you can do with this top looper, the Mark II. There's so many cool ways to use things that I'm just completely oblivious to. I never read the whole manual from start to finish. There's some cool tutorials though that I should get out there and watch more. So I'm going to add a new layer now. In this particular palette of settings and such that I've saved, this palette which has this bass in it, which has this other thing, whatever you call it, I have two more instruments. This next one that I'm going to use which you have not yet heard on this live stream. This new instrument you haven't heard yet. Here's how that one's built. Then I'm going to describe how I build it. Then I'm going to go play around with it and record a loop with it. Then I'm going to come back and remind you of what I built it from. So here's what this new instrument is built out of. This new one that you haven't heard yet will be built out of a synth, which is the same as the previous one. As I described, I use it like a horn, usually. Starts with a synth. That gets passed into a dynamics, which has a setting called the phone vocals. And that makes it have like an intercom kind of quality. Or you're listening to a voicemail, or like an old answering machine message. Probably not a voicemail. Anyway, that one's called Dynamics, set to that phone vocal setting. Synth, Dynamics, then it gets passed into Electric, which is the snap tuner, and then it gets passed into a step slicer. And the step slicer is similar, like how this one here has a sort of like cutting in and out. That comes from the tremolo, which is like a softer version. This new one I'm going to use, this has the step slicer, which is like rigidly cutting out. It's not as soft of a wave. So that's it. That's what this new one's built out of. A synth, dynamics, electric, step slicer. I'm gonna go off the speaking mic and go use this thing and make a loop. Came out pretty nice. So once again, this one that I just recorded, this one is built out of the following 4 input effects. The synth, passed into a dynamics, tuned to the phone vocals, passed into an electric, passed into the step slicer. I think that fits pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. There's a little bit of my voice giving out, which adds character. Oh, by the way, it occurred to me that I've never shared this detail on a stream before, I think. Maybe I have. But sometimes, if you're watching where my hands go, I wish I had a better way to get, to give you a more close-up view of the loopers, including let you see what's on the screens. That would help a lot. But I don't have that set up right now. I forgot where I was going with that. Okay, I got it. I remembered. What I was going to say earlier was something I never said on a live stream before that might, I don't know, be useful to know. Oftentimes, when you see me, like, you know, moving my hands around, pressing buttons and things, there's one that I do very, very often on both loopers, which is I press the exit button. The exit button, which on the lower looper is right here. My finger's on it right over here. This is the exit button. On the top looper, it's up here. You can see the screen flash a little bit. That just brings you back to a neutral mode. Because you can press, you know, this input effect and then press the button for that output effect and then turn on another output effect. But then you come back to this other input effect over here, and then you press this other button that does whatever other thing, and you wind up like stacking a lot in the memory of the looper. So I just press exit, just clear everything out. I'm in the habit of just doing it for the sake of doing it, even when there's nothing happening that would actually require it. Another output effect that I love a lot, and I have to, you know, exercise self-control to not overdo, is the low pass filter, as you hear in the percussion here. It's just the best. Low pass filter. That's a fun technique as well. To just drop out the low pass filter on the percussion. Throw the low pass filter on and you get this like awesome rave build up. Like, yeah, it's just gonna be so exciting. Whoa, I like excitement. Yeah, the drop. Woo! So I just take off the low pass filter at that point. Turn it up slowly. Pretty nice. I gotta give that its time and space where it belongs. at this time. I am feeling very fortunate indeed. Because Tommy has joined us. What a relief. Thomas says, how dare you start now? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's a good outcome, I feel. Also, this is good. Whoa, reverb is still on. So this is good. This is good. We got a lot of the beat built up at this time. You have been brought up to speed on every part of it. And yet, there is a remaining opening over here. And I also have one instrument at this time remaining unused. So, man. Thomas says this is like a Nicolas Cage style. All right, I'm with it. Like Nicolas Cage Superman. That unmade movie where he was fighting spiders and they showed a hypothetical scene from it in the Flash movie. I'm looking forward to the new Superman movie. It's coming out in like 9 days. Yep, 9 days. I'm big into comic books. So we have one final layer, and then the beat will be complete. This final instrument that you have not yet heard on this stream. This one is going to be built out of some different things. Built out of a preamp. The preamp is the first of the 4 layers that I use to build this next instrument that you haven't heard yet on the stream. The preamp is indeed like an amp, like if you got a literal physical amp to plug your electric guitar into and play your punk rock music. So that's what this next one is going to be built upon. A preamp passed into an electric, which is the snap tuner. Yeah. That then gets passed into a vibrato, which is going to give it a like undulating, wavy kind of feel. And then all that is passed into a tremolo, which is what these have. These have a tremolo on them. It's what gives it that soft, slicey sound. So again, this next instrument I'm going to use that you have not yet heard on this stream: preamp, electric, vibrato, tremolo. I'm going to go off the speaking mic. And go onto the instrument and complete this beat. So again, that new layer I just added, that one is built out of a preamp, electric, vibrato, tremolo. This thing. It's also twice as long as everything else, except everything else is not all uniform length. Usually when I stack, when I assign different lengths to each loop, the kick, or the snare, or the bass line, or whatever, usually that's a function of like, how much is it needed for stability in the song versus is it the dressing on top of all the other stability in the song. Like the kick and the hi-hat, these are the shortest. These are only 2 loops, or 2 bars, or whatever you call it. The clap here, the snare, is twice as long. That's 4. And these things are also 4 bars. So they bring the kicks and the snares, I'm sorry, the kicks and the hi-hats bring like a very tight foundation, predictability. Then these additional layers, the clap, snare, versus these whatever you call them. They bring a little more interestingness. The bass line is twice as long as all of that. That brings like a broadness to the beat. And this other one from earlier, that's the same as the bass line. So it's like taking up more space in a sense. But then there's the final layer, which is 16. As I've configured it. You don't have to do it this way. There's a lot more flexibility. With this thing now. That I reserve for the most like center stage, solo, erratic. Don't necessarily play it continuously. So that's it. That's this beat. So that was fun. Now I have this new beat. Will I do something with it? I don't know. I'll save it and decide later if I want to do anything with it. Wow. Thomas has a very interesting chat. That my stuff has an ancestors vibe. Like an ancient go hunting song. I take that as a big compliment. I'm not trying to do that, but that's a cool, if it comes off that way, I'm with it. see right now that has joined us. Love the vinyl flick. I say, it's so easy to use. I see Probes is asking for the song details. Song details are as follows: is E major. Beats per minute is 140.0. Man. Friends, this has been a most excellent and amazing 505 Beatmaking stream. Thank you for being here. At this time, my friends, I am going to celebrate you so very wonderfully. I'm going to count to 3. We're going to clink the screen. We're going to celebrate our togetherfulness. 1. Oh, man, it's already happening? Yes, it's happening. 2. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. It's all going to happen right now. Oh, now. 3. Clink. Cheers, my friends. Oh, that's really good. That's so good. That's what goodness is. My goodness. Please like this video. Thank you for being here today. To my people who were here live in the chat. To my people who are here live, but you are not in the chat. To my people who are joining us after the stream, watching on replay. Shout out to my people in the year 3807. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the next live stream. We have a wide and delicious variety of live streams here on Reconsider It's Music Sketchpad. Today we were in the upper right, the 505 Beatmaking, where I make a beat but I talk about the looper details. In the bottom right, we had been in the top right today. The bottom right is doing loopers, doing the improvising beats and stuff, hanging out, talking a lot, but it's an unstructured hangout. So I'm not talking about the loopers, I'm talking about just whatever comes up in the chat or some other thing I might talk about. Bringing the synthesizer. That's tinkering in the studio in the lower right. Lower left, we got the same thing, but no talking at all. Upper left, we got loops and chill, which looks like a well-rehearsed, pre-written performance, but every part of it is improvised. Making the beat, arranging the beat on the fly, it's all improvised. I'm looking forward to seeing you then. And until then, please have a very good rest of your day today. Please let the rest of your day today bring you all manner of transformational advancement and elevation and healing. Please let the rest of your day today continue to elevate you to new heights at new rates. Increased rates of heightened heights, higher heights. Let the rest of your day today bring you to higher heights today, my friends. And I will see you in the next Reconsider It live stream.